Our web page is starting to take shape. Adding some color has certainly made it a bit more interesting. Now, we're going to spend some time learning about how to set font sizes and then include custom fonts from a third-party service. Before we begin, we should organize our CSS a bit. It's starting to get complex, and I don't want you to lose track of where we're at. To organize things, we're going to add some CSS comments. A comment is basically a way for us to write a note in the code without it actually being interpreted by the browser. Site visitors won't be able to see these comments on the site either, unless they view the source of your web page. It's a good idea to keep your code well commented because comments can serve as reminders or visual cues about your thought process when writing code. This makes it much easier to maintain your code later on and fix bugs if you need to. So let's go ahead and write our first comment. Down here on the site body, I'm going to write a / and then a star, and on my keyboard, I just have to hit Shift and the number 8, although that might be different on your keyboard. And then inside of this, I'm going to type site body. And I can type whatever I want here because this isn't going to be interpreted by the browser. So if I save this and refresh the page, it shouldn't change anything at all. So again, the syntax is a /, a star, or an asterisk, and then we write our comment inside of here, and then we close the comment with a star and another /. So you'll see that the opening and closing remarks here are actually opposite one another. Comments don't necessarily have to be on their own line either. We could put comments alongside the end of a line of code. So for example, I could copy this comment and I could put it right here, and it's not going to affect the code in any way. Now, let's go ahead and comment the rest of the colors that we added previously. So, up here for our header, we want to say that this is going to be a green header, and this will help us remember what colors we put here. And I'm just going to copy this comment and just edit its contents so we can type a little bit faster here. Just above our navigation, I'm going to say that this is the nav background on mobile devices. Right here, this is the logo text, so let's type that, logo text. We've also colored our links here, so let's type that out. And then we also have our nav links. So let's say that this is the color for a nav link. And then finally, we have the selected nav link color. So let's type that out. Selected nav link. Great. Now, normally we wouldn't add a comment to every single CSS rule, but in this case, it will make it easier for us to change the color scheme. I strongly encourage you to come up with a color scheme of your own to get more practice with CSS colors. Now, let's create a few multi-line comments to help break up our code into readable chunks. So, what does that look like? Well, let's head up to the top of our code here, and I'm going to open a comment and then close it, and I'm going to type out a bunch of stars here, or asterisks. And then I can do the same thing down here, and inside of this, I can type a word like general. This first section I've labeled general because it's some very basic styling that applies site-wide at a fairly pervasive level. As you can see, this is a perfectly valid comment because it starts and ends with an opening and closing slash and an asterisk at each side. Now, I actually want to include a very specific number of asterisks here, just sort of as a point of style. So I'm going to copy some code from off screen here and then paste it in. and you can add however many you'd like, however you would like your code to look, and so that's something that's totally up to you. Now I'm going to copy this, and I want to add another one of these just above our header. So let's just do that, and we'll call this one header, and I usually like to have 3 spaces before each one of these. So I'll do that. And actually, I think I want to call that heading instead of header. There we go. And finally, I'm going to add one down here towards the bottom. And I'm going to call this colors. So that will go just above all of the colors that we've added here. And we have some other styling up here, and we need to kind of reorganize our CSS a little bit. So I'm going to move this link color further down. So I'll put that just after the H1 and H2 here. That's good. And let's see, this navigation actually kind of comes a little bit sooner in the page. So I just want to do that. And then I also want to keep all of these links together just like that. Actually, I think I'm going to put the site body up at the top here, just so that it's consistent and kind of has the site body as the first thing in our list of colors, since that's the most broad selector that we have. And then we need to move, let's see, our logo here underneath our heading. And again, I like to have 3 spaces before the start of one of these multi-line comments. So we'll do that. And then I think we can leave our general styles alone. And I think in our general styles, I'm going to just flip the wrapper and this anchor element around. There we go. Now, this should have a very minimal effect on the outcome of the site. So if you don't rearrange these things as I have done, your site should probably work the same. But again, because of CSS's cascading nature, you may want to go ahead and rearrange them as I've done. So just to review, under the general section, we have the wrapper ID and our anchor selector. Under the heading, we have our logo ID selector. And then under colors, we have our body colors, header colors, navigation colors, H1 and H2, anchor colors, and then nav A and nav visited colors, and then the selected and hover states. Now our code is a lot more readable and scannable. We can just scroll up and down the page here, and we can see where these major blocks are located.